Welcome to Art with Lorien, the place to reconnect with your inner artist and discover the joy of painting outside the lines. So, as promised, today we're going to start with color, my favorite inspiration. And so basically, color is light, and the way we see color is how the light interacts with our eyes. I mean, that's a very simple explanation. Color is the rainbow. The color spectrum is the 12 colors, and those were put and organized into a wheel in 1666 by a man by the name of Sir Isaac Newton. And he put them in this circle where they all were kind of interrelated with each other. And so this color wheel is based on the 3 primary colors, which are blue, red, and yellow. And you may have heard this before, and you know this, I'm sure, but we're going to be using just these 3 colors today to mix all 9 of the additional colors in the color wheel. There's basically 12 colors. So that's what we're going to be exploring in today's episode. And so let's dive in. What you're going to require today for our episode is your paper. And if you have the watercolor paper, that's great. If you were able to get the Bristol board paper, it's a cardstock heavyweight paper that I put on the supplies list after last episode. This is great. If not, watercolor's great, either or. You'll have your preferred brushes, your palette knife, your palette, and we're going to use these 3 colors from the gouache kit that I recommended, or if you have your own preferred paints, you'll just go ahead and use your blue, yellow, and red. And from these the gouache kit that I showed you, that I have on my list, we're going to be using lemon yellow, cobalt blue, and brilliant red. They're the basic primary colors. And so let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this under here and talk about primary colors and what makes them so special. And so the first thing we're going to do is just put down the 3 primary colors on your paper in kind of like a triangle shape. So go ahead and put your yellow out on your palette. I already did some a minute ago. I'm just going to go ahead and put my red next. There's some there. I'm going to add some, and then my blue. And what I'd like you to do is just have your towel, get your brush wet, kind of dab off the excess, and then put down this red paint. And then we are not painting inside the lines, we are painting outside the lines. So just put them in any kind of triangular form that resembles a triangle. It does not need to be perfect in terms of measuring or using rulers or anything like that. We're just gonna eyeball it and put the 3 primaries down, and hopefully you have something like this. And these are our primary colors, unmixed. They're not combined with any other colors. They're the primary, the firsts. Okay, and now to get this, what are called the secondary colors, we're going to combine each 2, and then you'll see what happens when we combine yellow with blue. We're going to get a secondary, which you probably know is green. So let's go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to mix my blue, and when you're mixing to get the secondary colors, you're going to add about the same of each of the 2 colors to get your accurate color. Now, this does take time, and it takes, you know, it's supposed to be fun, so just take your time. You can dip it in your water and blah blah blah. If you need to add more of your paint like I do, go ahead and do that. So I used up all my blue. I'm just gonna mix that in there. This is where the palette knife comes in handy, so you're not using your brushes. And we're gonna go ahead And I have a pretty nice green here. I'm gonna lay it down in between my yellow and blue. So there's my secondary green. Now I'm gonna make the secondary color that combines blue and red. So this is where if you have lots of brushes, it's handy. I don't mind just washing them out. It's your preference. And I'm gonna mix red and blue now. And then this is also where you wipe off your palette knife. This is where this towel is so helpful. And we're gonna make a really nice straight purple. Purple, a violet, in other words, they're interchangeable, violet and purple. That's not too red and not too blue. You can using equal amounts of those two colors, and here we have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay that down. And we'll have a nice purple here. Now you'll see the consistency if you're using the gouache. They have a really nice feel to them. Now let's say, here's my purple. I think it's a little bluer than I would like. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the red, just off to the side here. And let's see what we've got. Okay. And I'm gonna just lay it right on top of that. Now this is the beauty of the gouache. You can actually mix them on the paper. And now I have a redder purple. See that? So we can just go back and forth here all day. And last but not least, combining yellow and red, we're going to get our vibrant orange. So go ahead and take your red and yellow, and we're looking for like a navel orange color orange. And that will be your secondary, last secondary color. And then we're gonna move on to the next combination. Yeah, this is, oh, that's good, I like that. Okay, so here it is. And I'm kind of happy with this. I mean, at first I thought it was a little too red now. So there's my orange. So to review, primaries always make secondaries when they are combined. So, and this is how the wheel is really useful, is that whatever's in between the two primes is its like prodigy or its child or what it is, you know, is what is made by putting those two together. So we're going to move on from secondary colors onto the next category of the color wheel, and those are called tertiary colors, which is basically a primary plus a secondary equals a tertiary, a third. So it's like 1 + 2 = 3. And that's how I've memorized it and have taught it for years to where. So let's go ahead now and create our tertiary colors. So take your, I'm going to go back to the red and the orange where we just ended, and I'm going to go ahead and use what's already here, and I'm going to create the combination of red and orange. So red's prime, orange is secondary, and you'll see that we're going to get a reddish orange. And let's put that down. Ooh. Yeah, and if you find that it's not what you would like or what you're going for, you just add a little, bring a little bit more in. And it's totally fine to mix on your paper. And looking at my orange now, I'm seeing it's a little too red. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another brush here, and I'm going to add more yellow to that. Okay, this isn't cheating. This is what we do. Now, the cool thing about gouache is, like I was saying, if you just want to add a little bit of water with your brush, you can mix. They are like, it's like clay. You'll start to feel that pliability, and I'm really very much happier with this orange that I just mixed. So here's my red, red, orange, orange. I'm even going to bring it in over here a little bit. Yeah, it's good. Okay, and next we're going to make the combination of orange and yellow. And you see we're going to get that child. It's going to be a yellow-orange. And if you notice with these, if you are using the gouache, a little goes a long way too. So that's really nice. I'm just going to tweak this a little bit. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to mix these two. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so it's quite orange. Hopefully you're having fun. It is a creative process. There are no mistakes. If you find yourself kind of going back and forth like I am right now, fine-tuning it, that's the good part, where you're seeing what you're doing by doing it. Hopefully this is fun. Okay. Okay, so here's a pretty nice yellow orange. Okay, so yellow, orange, red, orange, red, orange. All right, moving on. So now let's go ahead and make our yellow green. And if you have your spray bottle, as I recommended having, these are really good with gouache specifically because you can reinvigorate and bring the gouache paint back to life. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my palette here. And there's a green I already had. And because these are the coolest paints on the planet, in my experience, is I'm just bringing back the green I'd already made, adding a little yellow, and now I have my lime green. Voila. So another little trick with gouache is that you can reinvigorate them. They're very different than all the other paints that I also like a lot too. Okay. And so now we're going to go ahead and make the combination of green and blue, which is going to be a blue-green, a gorgeous kind of turquoise. So where's that blue? Okay, I'm going to add it to my green that I have here. And this is supposed to be messy. So as you can see, I've got your water will be getting kind of dirty, your towel is going to be getting some paint on it, maybe even your apron. So I'm going to bring in this blue. It's so beautiful. I love this color. Okay, so here's our aqua. It's like a turquoise. It's a blue-green. And there we have it. There's our blue-green. Look at that. Okay, so now we're going to move into the purple family. So we're using now the secondary color of purple combined with the blue primary, combined with the red primary, and you're going to have your last two tertiary colors, which will be all 12 colors of your basic color wheel. So let's go ahead, and if you have your spray bottle, you can reinvigorate your purples that are already on your palette. And so I've got to get a clean brush. And I've actually reintroduced a new brush into the mix here. Okay, so I'm going to do my actually, I'm going to do the red purple because I have that here. It's pretty handy and it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to bring this in here. I'm going to go ahead and bring some more red into this red purple with my red brush directly right on the paper. Because of the types of paints and the paper, we have a nice thick paper. And okay. So I think I've got my red purple now. Is that good? Yeah, I think I like it. Now moving on to blue-purple, the combination of this prime and the secondary. And then we'll have wrapped up this episode. Okay, so this is a blue-purple, and I can already see it needs a lot more blue. Okay, let's see. It's pretty close though. Now, as you can see, and hopefully yours is also kind of what I would call freeform and definitely outside the lines, your color wheel is an organic looking color wheel. So it's just freeform. We didn't draw, you don't have to know how to draw. We're just mixing colors, and honestly, this is one of the best things to know how to do. It's like magic, using these 3 colors to create 9 additional colors. So I want to also show you my palette. Maybe yours looks like this as well. It's really fun, super colorful. Woohoo! So hopefully you have a nice messy palette and lots of messy brushes and your color wheel, and you're having a great time. And so looking ahead at next episode, we'll continue with color theory, color relationships, color mixing, and exploring this amazing element of art called color. Until then, see you in the studio.